So I like to study sharks, right? One of the reasons I like to study sharks is they're quite an interesting creature that a lot of people just don't know a lot about. But one of the most interesting things about a shark is that a shark cannot swim backwards. If a shark swims backwards, they die. So a shark can only move forward. And it's things like that that I've always taken into consideration when it comes to making my decisions, as I essentially pulled myself up out of the gutter, because let's just be honest, that's where I was at. I was in the gutter. Pulling myself up out of that hole that I'd created for myself, I knew that I could never go backwards. Even if it was very small from day to day, or maybe every once in a while I made a giant step because something really worked out in my life. It just depends if it was small or big, but it was always a positive step forward. I'm Jason Hochstidler. I'm the engagement executive for C. Kruger's Finest Baked Goods here in Columbus, Ohio. Some of our biggest accounts are hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm working with a client right now that they'll place a holiday order with us, and they're a client that they have over 8,000 retail stores in the United States. They're looking to send holiday gifts out to the store level employees, the distribution center level employees, and to the corporates. So it's 3 stages, and it's all different level or different tiers of gifts depending on who the gift is going to. It can get complicated. I'm in the stage of working with our graphic arts team and our marketing team to come up with that kind of like that wow gift box that shows this client's brand, but mixes in that whole holiday flavor and the C. Kruger's brand all together. I obviously will send samples out to them, for them to see what it's going to look like. But if they were to place the order, it would be a few $100,000. I'm also the president of the nonprofit Living Proof Project. There's a lot of nonprofits out there. There's a lot of ministries out there that deal with homelessness, that deal with ex-offenders, that deal with veterans that have screwed up and done things wrong. But very rarely do you find those organizations that are made up primarily of people that have walked out in the same shoes, the people that they're helping. So living proof. Why? Because I'm living proof. We want that living proof to be your living proof. I would say that Jason 15 years ago was a very lost and broken individual. I had absolutely no direction. Definitely in terms of to where I am now compared to where I was. But I know for a fact that where I was, if I would have gotten a job like this all those years ago, I would have lost it immediately. I may have worked a few weeks. Maybe I would have lasted a couple months. But somewhere along the line, the chaotic nature of my life in that time frame would have caused the ship to sink. I had made some very stupid decisions with my finances and some other things. I had some addiction issues that was keeping me in a cycle of poverty. Over a period of time, those addictions caused certain crimes to be committed, and eventually the state of Indiana got tired of giving me opportunities. It definitely wasn't the first time that I had been in trouble with the law, quote unquote, but it was definitely the last time, because the judge had finally had enough. No, there was definitely a light bulb moment at Branchville. Branchville provided a structure that it kind of takes me back to my military days. When I was in the Army, I had that structure, and when I exited the military, I lost all of that structure. I just kind of, like I said, went by the seat of my pants. So it's like that structure disappeared when I left the military. And Branchville gave me that structure back. Is it the way I wanted to have structure given to me? No. The Jason Hochstetler back then needed Branchville. Whether or not it's something that I'm proud of, or whether or not it's something that anybody would want to admit, I needed it. If that judge wouldn't have did what he did and basically threw the hammer down and said, hey, enough's enough, we're going to stop this, you're getting out of control, it's hard to say where I'd be, dead. I mean, that's a reality. That's the direction I was heading. Started just by tearing down pallets. It got me out of the dorm every day, right? So it was the right thing to do, I didn't have anybody supporting me, sending me money, commissary money and stuff like that. So it helped me to earn a little bit of money so that I can get the things I needed. And it allowed me to occupy my day for 8 hours a day. It went so much bigger and so much deeper than just hire. I mean, hire was there, that was the foundation, right? But just having hire there caused me to research and dig into other programs and other things, and I just started to see that there was a lot of options out there for me to stay motivated and to move in the right direction. Focus on the things that matter. Separation from the old friends that could potentially pull me back into that, right? Because there were definitely those people that existed, right? And they would have been just perfectly fine with me coming back and being the old Jason and going right back into it. Anybody who wants to be successful has to be able to say and know in their heart of hearts who is for them and who is against them. And you have to be able to make that separation and walk away clean. Don't be worried about if they're upset or you made them mad, and that's hard for some people, because some of those people aren't just friends. Some of those people are family. Set a goal. Not just one goal, but many goals. Goals that are achievable. Goals that you can hit in a short amount of time, in a short fashion, where you can say, I reached that, and you can give yourself a little bit of a pat on the back, a little bit of success. But then on top of that, goals that are a little bit farther out, a little bit harder to reach, that when you're hitting those smaller goals, that you're eventually getting to the bigger milestones that even give you more encouragement, more of a boost of motivation, and then probably just focusing on that one singular goal, because everybody has one. That one singular goal of who do I want Jason to be? Like, what's my dream? What did God place in my heart? What is it that I want, right, out of life? There's got to be that one thing that all the other goals are working towards, and can't lose focus of that either. You can't say, well, what's healthy for my children? What's healthy for my wife? What's healthy for my family? What's healthy for my friends? At the end of the day, the only person who's going to matter when that door shuts behind you because you failed to stay out, it's you. The door's shutting behind you. It's not shutting behind anybody else, right? Therefore, be focused on you. Just absolutely stop lying to yourself. I mean, the worst thing you can do is lie to yourself about who you are, about where you're at, and about where you're going. Answer those 3 questions and answer them truthfully with integrity in your heart, and you won't fail. The struggle was real for me, and I actually know and feel where you're coming from. Even in the middle of the struggle, even when it looks like everything is absolutely positively falling apart, you still have a choice. It comes down to a choice. You can either choose to believe your situation, you can choose to believe your current reality and just go ahead and sit down in shame and give yourself a pity party because this is where you're at. And I could have done any number of things to make things seem better, but they all would have been temporary solutions. And temporary solutions are only temporary. It may look bad, but look for that shimmer of light, because even with darkness all around you, there's an opportunity somewhere. If you look hard enough and deep enough, there's an opportunity somewhere.